We know that urgency sells, loss aversion drives action, but it doesn't mean that you have to be manipulative and lie in your marketing to create this sense of urgency. So, we're going to talk through how to create ethical urgency and leverage loss aversion in a way that is going to activate your audience's primal brain, build trust, and actually inspire confident decisions rather than showing up like a sleaze bag. By the end, you will know how to ethically tap into the psychological wiring that makes urgency and loss aversion so effective while keeping your messaging aligned with your values and maintaining integrity. Our content, especially our Instagram stories, have an insanely high conversion rate. And when we go into a launch or promotion, we see conversion rates as high as 70%. And this isn't about pressure, it's about clarity and alignment with what your audience already wants and really leveraging these subliminal cues to help them feel like it was their idea. So we had a client who used these strategies in a very time-sensitive campaign and was able to sell out her offer in less than 24 hours while also receiving feedback that this just felt like the right time. And that's the power of subliminal messaging and ethical urgency, because what you can do is create an environment where people want to move. You aren't lollygagging with people in the DMs, going back and forth and holding their hands, but you also don't feel like a sleazy used card salesman. You might notice that your audience seems like they're paralyzed by too many options, so they're inactive. They're maybe hesitant to make decisions. You're getting DMs constantly from some of the same people, but they're just not converting and turning into a sale. And you probably don't want to come across as salesy or pushy and give yourself the ick. And you are probably struggling to create urgency that feels authentic and motivating, especially if you're somebody who has evergreen offers or evergreen programs. We personally don't run our business on a launch cycle. We have evergreen enrollment and programs. So being able to create urgency that is ethical while still, using that subliminal targeting to ensure that people are coming into our business consistently so that we can sustain and continue to grow is a skill that I've had to learn and something I've gotten very good at. So I'm happy to share that with you today. Let's give a little bit of insight into ethical urgency, and we're going to nerd out a little bit on some neuromarketing. The primal brain is responsible for survival instincts, right? It's wired to respond to time-sensitive opportunities because they signal scarcity, a trigger that essentially suggests immediate action is required for survival. Right? So our primal brain is hardwired to keep us from missing out on things because our primal brain is wired to believe that if we miss out on something, i.e., food, water, shelter, then we are going to die. So we can ethically tap into that primal brain and its predispositions in a couple different ways, right? You guys have seen, I'm sure, the time sensitive bonuses, and this is a really great way to leverage ethical urgency, because if your bonus is really only going to be available for the next 48 hours, then that is something that is going to create urgency because people don't want to miss out on that. People don't want to miss out on a bonus, and people don't want to miss out on a good deal, especially analytical buyers. The limited spots ploy is something that has to be used with integrity and transparency, and I think there is a right way and a wrong way to do it. The wrong way to do it is to constantly be pulling out of your butt. 2 spots left, 3 spots left, 10 spots left, right? We're pulling arbitrary numbers out of nowhere. And at this point, everyone in your audience is wise to that fact. But what you can do is, if you genuinely have a capacity, you can show that with transparency. So let's say, for example, you are launching a limited time promotion or a limited time bonus, and you are only going to make that available to 10 people. What you can do is you can be posting hype screenshots, leveraging the bandwagon effect, showcasing people applying, showcasing people DMing you, showcasing people taking action on those CTAs on your Instagram story. And you can use screenshots, be it from your email when you get a new payment notification, or from your lead tracking system or CRM when you get a new inquiry or a new sale. You can share screenshots from application calls that are booked or applications that are submitted. Any form of notification that you are getting to tell you that, hey, I made a sale, hey, I got a new application, hey, I got a new inquiry. Those are things that you can be sharing. Of course, we take people's confidentiality very important a lot, and we take that a lot more seriously than other people in the online space. I wouldn't be caught dead with the sticky note thing, putting post-its on the wall, or sharing screenshots of people's account, personal information, photo to welcome them into the program. I think that's trashy. But what you can do is you can block out people's names. You can still have the timestamp, the date, any other additional information that showcases that you are welcoming somebody new into the program. Even if you're not getting these notifications, even if you are posting something in your community that's like, hey, welcome so-and-so, right? Block out their name, take a screenshot, put it on your story. Leveraging that social proof and that bandwagon effect, of course, is very helpful because we know that people don't want to miss out. People don't want to be left behind. Our primal brain doesn't want the other people in our little caveman squad to get something that we are going to miss out on, because that could mean death, right? But at the same time, you can also leverage this to showcase with transparency these spots being taken and filled up. So that's how you can use the loss aversion with the spots in an ethical way, where you are showing transparently what is actually happening behind the scenes of your business. Now, the next obvious one is seasonal relevance. So if you're doing something for Black Friday or you're doing a Q1 promotion, we just closed off our New Year, New Business sale that we do every year, which this year for the promotion, we did a start now, buy later. So people didn't have to put down their first installment until a month into working together. And at that point, most people will have already made back their investment and then some. That was the limited time promotion that we did. And this was kind of paired with the limited time as well as the seasonal relevance. And so because this was gearing up for Q1, the new year, that had an added level of urgency that people are already going to be predisposed to be paying attention to. Now, my personal favorite is the desire urgency. Now, this is something that you can use year round, whether you're in a promotional period or not. You can be posting this literally every single day, and it's never going to get old, and it's always going to be able to be used with integrity. So the way this works is essentially what you're doing is showing behind the scenes of your business, and you're pulling back the curtain, the results that you're creating for other people. And not just the results that you're creating. So we're not just talking about screenshots and testimonials, but the transformation, the logistical how you are getting people there. This doesn't mean uncovering your entire framework and giving people all the nitty-gritty details of what's inside your program, because people genuinely don't care. But if you can pull it back the curtain and showcase you delivering results for your clients, this is going to create that urgency where people are going to feel like they're missing out on something. They're going to see that physically as something that they want. And of course, you're creating that urgency because they see other people getting that desired result that they want to have. And you're going to be triggering that competitive edge and kind of poking the ego that every person has, that, hey, somebody else is going to get here and get this desired result before you, so you better jump in now, is kind of the idea. Now, this is a form of future pacing, which is the same reason that real estate agents stage houses before they show them, because they don't want you to walk into an empty house that looks spooky and has the fire alarms chirping. If you've ever been house hunting, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They want you to be able to see yourself living there. And especially in the online space where it's spooky out there, it's the Wild West, there's no rules, and most people are full of crap. Plain and simple. Future pacing is one of the best ways that you can build that trust and create urgency with your audience so that they can physically see what it actually looks like to work with you. They can see you showing up and delivering results for clients. They can see in the moment what it is that those people got. So maybe it's just a 5-second time lapse behind the scene B-roll video of you on a Zoom call with a client, and your text on screen just says the things that you worked on with that client that day. That is enough. This doesn't have to be super complicated. But again, pulling back the curtain, showcasing a part of your methodology, showcasing other people getting results. Again, you're leveraging the bandwagon effect, you're leveraging future pacing, and this is going to create that ethical urgency that you can use all year long. Now, urgency and loss aversion go hand in hand because there's a level of urgency that comes with not wanting to miss out on something, right? Bring it back to the neuromarketing, okay? So the primal brain reacts more strongly, 10 times more strongly, to the potential for a loss than the prospect of a gain. This is called prospect theory and explains why loss aversion is a key motivator for decision making. So let me give you an example, right? People are twice as likely to take action to avoid losing $100 as they are to gain $100. Really great book that I love is called What Your Customers Want But Can't Tell You. And the author in that book shares a really, really great example that I think you can resonate with and even take into your own marketing. Essentially, she was working with a credit card company, and what they were doing was running a promotion that said that if you use your card, I think it was like 10 or 20 times in the next month, then they were going to give you $50. Almost nobody took action. Almost nobody did that because the potential gain of that $50 did not quite compensate for the amount of other thoughts going on, the other focuses that they had, and the fact that they would actually have to use that specific card 10 times. They redid the promotion after working with this author slash consultant. And what they did was they shifted the frame. They ran the exact same promotion, but instead of saying, we'll give you $50, they said, we added a $50 credit to your account. Use your card 10 times this month and you get to keep it. See the difference there? Same promotion, same effort, same amount of messaging, same amount of gain or bonus. But by shifting the frame there, to where you're not winning, you have the potential to lose something. The participation rate for that campaign quadrupled the amount of people that participated. So how can you use this? Number one, we can frame offers around avoidance, right? So not solving this could mean another 6 months of frustration and lost revenue, right? Showcase for them what the future looks like if they miss out on taking action now. If they don't take action now, what are they going to lose? Well, potentially they're going to lose the next 12 months of making between $10,000 and $50,000 for our average client. So along these lines, highlighting the opportunity cost. So delaying the decision, what it's going to cost them, right? The chance to gain new clients or reach their next income milestone, and using real examples of clients or even past, prospects that didn't end up signing, who delayed action and missed out versus those who acted and succeeded. Again, comparison is very, very activating to the primal brain. It's something that's very easy for it to understand. And so being able to share that side-by-side comparison of this is what happened when people delayed action versus this is what happened when people took the action quickly is going to allow you to tap into that feeling of loss aversion. And it's important to remember that loss aversion works best when you focus on real consequences of inaction, framed in a way that empowers people to make a decision and hits home to the things that you know that they want, rather than trying to pressure them into handing over their credit card. So we had a client who was in the health space. I would call her a coach, but I don't know if she would quite identify with that. She essentially just created a time-sensitive bonus for her program and offered a free one-on-one session for the first 10 signups, and she sold out her spots in 36 hours because the urgency was aligned with the value of the bonus. Recently, with the promotion that I just talked about, doing the start now, buy later, I really framed the cost of inaction by showing how waiting could mean missing out on opportunities, lost revenue, lost leads, lost sales, and another quarter or more of floundering around. And obviously, this approach really resonates deeply with analytical buyers and driver buyers who took first action, but we also had several amiable and expressive buyers come through this promotion. Think about another kind of primal brain example, right? Think about Black Friday deals, right? The ticking clock on a deal triggers that primal brain to act quickly and fear that the opportunity is going to disappear. We've got some of the how out of the way. I want to dive a little bit deeper into the why, right? So with urgency, this taps into our essentially evolutionary instinct to act quickly when resources are scarce or opportunities seem fleeting. Okay. So, and I want to break this down a little bit more by the different buyer types. So driver buyers, urgency is going to really appeal to their desire for speed and results. Again, it appeals to that ego, wanting that competitive edge and wanting to get there faster than anybody else. Analytical buyers, logical urgency like deadlines or limited spots provides a really clear reason to act and act now. Amiable buyers, reassuring them that acting now is in their best interest, so avoiding stress later or not seeing negative impacts on your team or your family. Those are the type of things that are going to be very activating to them. And then expressives, they really love the excitement and exclusivity of time-bound opportunities. You can see how you can take the messaging of urgency and loss aversion and you can kind of leverage it and frame it with slight little tweaks to make sure that you're speaking to all of the different buyer types through your messaging. And then with the loss aversion, the brain prioritizes avoiding loss because it perceives, like we said, it perceives loss as a greater threat than missing out on a gain. Driver buyers, again, focusing on what delays will cost them in terms of progress and competition. Analyticals showing data-backed consequences of inaction, giving stats. Again, those side-by-side comparisons. Amiable buyers really emphasizing the emotional toll of not solving the problem. And then, of course, we have our expressive buyers. So highlight how waiting can be missing out on excitement and exclusivity and how they want to be on the inside. An action step for you. For your offer that you are going, or your core offer, or maybe your launch that you're doing. Launches are obvious because they have a little bit more built-in urgency, but especially for evergreen offers, I want you to look at your suite or look at your core offer and integrate just one ethical urgency element and one loss aversion angle. Could be that the bonus is only available for the next 72 hours, or with loss aversion, delaying could cost you 6 months of progress for XYZ, right? Test it out and watch how it transforms not only your engagement, but the level of inquiries and the amount of inquiries that you see coming through. And you want to make sure to ensure that you are maintaining integrity and using these tactics. That one, urgency is tied to real value, right? So capacity, timing, a bonus, something of that sort, and that you are transparently showing those spots being filled up, right? If you're doing that. And then number two, are you framing loss aversion around something that's authentic to your audience and something that they genuinely care about? Success is going to look like, of course, increase in conversions, and you will start to see people feeling a little bit more urgent when it comes to submitting applications and hopping on sales calls, right? You'll notice that you aren't having to chase people down. Your leads will be taking action quickly and expressing confidence in their decision. And this is going to also build long-term trust because you're going to be one of, I can tell you, the few people in your industry that are truly transparently employing urgency and loss aversion, and people can tell the difference between you and the other sleazebags in the industry. So keep in mind that ethical urgency and loss aversion work because they align with how our brains are wired to make decisions. So when you use these correctly, you're going to empower your audience to take action without pressure or manipulation. So I would love to hear from you how these strategies work in your next promotion or even in your next month of marketing. And if you want more guidance on this, be sure to DM me on Instagram. I'm happy to voice note back and forth and chat about this a little bit more. And just remember, this isn't about creating fear. They're about creating clarity and helping your audience make decisions that they feel really good about. And if you want to see these strategies in action, you can head over to my Instagram because this is heavily infused in my marketing and messaging pretty much year round. That's all for this video. If this was helpful, be sure to subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.